What's up, Rad Potential? We are going to be putting coilovers on the car right now. I'm going to get that lower control arm out of there. I'm going to get that front strut out of there. I'm going to put the goods on. Here we go. Alright, so one thing that I've found that helps when you do suspension stuff, especially these like newer ones with the spindles, is that you can get your main strut out of there pretty easy. But I'm wanting to take the lower control arm off so I can redo the bushings in it. And so what I'm going to do now is disconnect the sway bar, but I use just a little pull strap to hold the spindle up. So because I don't need to take the tie rod off, it's staying. And I took the brake caliper off just so I can see everything a little bit better. It's just 2 bolts. So most time you'd pull the rotor off as well, but that would alleviate some weight, but we're going to leave it on. So old strut's out. Had some critters living in there. New one's sitting here ready to go on. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to leave these little plastic guards on here. They look like they're like glued on, so I think they get to stay. But about ready to go on. I'm gonna sway bar off, hammer this ball joint the rest of the way out, which is just a little sleeve. Should slide right out. And then this guy will just get tucked up over here on the sway bar so it doesn't hit anything. Getting stuff done. Got the control arm off. It's looking pretty crusty. So I don't know how we'll get these off here. Pull them off, cut them off, grind them off, something. This one we should just be able to press out. So ball joint looks good. The one thing that stinks about Series 5 lowers is the non-replaceable ball joints. So on these cars, if you needed to replace your lower ball joint, you were buying a whole new control arm. On a Series 4 FC, they have a bolt-on ball joint at the end, so you can replace them. Also, convertible people, see that brace? It goes behind the engine. You must remove it if you want to get this retainer clip off. That goes right here. Fun fact. It's off. Alright, we're on the other side now. I got the other bushings are burning out. So, this side right here, ball joints are in pretty good shape. Rod ends are a little wasted, but still tight. Still tight. So, one thing you gotta watch out for, these have the little cotter pin hole in them. So you don't want to smash them in because you'll mushroom them out. So, and they do spin inside there, just so you know. Secondly, get you one of these. You also need a big air compressor, but air hammer. You just stick that baby on there like that, it comes right off. Pop the spindles off. I was gonna try to do it. Well, no, I was gonna take the spindles off regardless, but I was gonna try to leave the tie rod ends in them. Said to heck with it. Just went ahead and popped them out. Takes an extra couple minutes, especially if you have one of these. You just stick it right on there with the nut on it. Pops right out. So, sway bar, a couple more bolts. Pop these guys out. I'll show you the burn-ins. Alright, so driver side's off. These are super easy to hit out with a hammer. Just use a socket. Mini sledge, they pop right out. These, on the other hand, have an actual metal like ring inside of them that helps hold them on. So I tried to cut the other one off, but it just wasn't having it. So I'm just gonna burn them off. So out here, ideally this fire's still going. Maybe not. Nope. Lights. Alright. Focus. Fire's going out. Right there. Just burning it up. Hopefully I can pry it off with a screwdriver. We'll burn this one off next. Getting stuff done. Cooking with fire. What's up, Rad Potential YouTube followers? We are going to Carson Coffee in Columbia, Tennessee today. Got the Repu fired up. It's a little bit wet out here. Looks like it might rain, but there's no rain down there. The green's coming in nicely. This thing is looking fresh with its fresh coat of clear coat put on last night. Thank you, Mother Nature. Let's rip. back at the house. Cars and Coffee this morning was great. There were some really cool old trucks there. I didn't film much of it because it was rainy and cold and I was just hanging out with people. So, we're back at the house, as just said. I have the passenger side coilover in, brake calipers painted, or my rusty rotor, as y'all probably saw. So that's done. One thing to do is you do not want to tighten your lower control arm bolts until the car is on the ground. So neither of those are tight. Should be, once it gets set down on the ground, we'll tighten them up. So what I wanted to show y'all is the lower control arm off the car. So I already did one side, as you know. This bushing right here is a pain in the rear to get off. This one, hammer out with a socket, super easy. Not easy. It's this big guy. So, from the factory, that bushing has a metal sleeve inside of it. What that metal sleeve does is makes it really hard to get off the control arm. So, this is the first one. I tried to cut it at an angle, figured I'd get more meat on it. Got all the way through eventually, ended up prying it off. Second time around I got smarter. I cut it in half, both sides, because you can't quite cut all the way to the back. So I was able to get about 3/4 of it cut, both sides, pry it apart, and it just split right in two pieces. So I didn't really have to burn them. I thought burning them off that there wouldn't be a metal sleeve in there, but ended up finding out there's a sleeve. So fun fact, if you do bushings on your RX-7, that's the front issues. Over here, still all taken apart. Just got to get everything, I guess just wire wheel that caliper, put these bushings on over there, get the coilover hung, and pop this baby back together here real quick. Alright y'all, got the side back buttoned up. Notice right here, got the jack underneath this. Basically, all that I did, and this might help a little bit, but I can't confirm nor deny. So, jack it up until your jack stands loose on this side, just on the control arm. Just putting more pressure on the spring than normal, because since the car's up off the ground, it's not like sitting everywhere, sitting evenly, so this should tweak the bushing in the right way. So it should already be sprung. Tighten this one, tighten these down back here, which hold your big guy in, clamp that guy down. These cars, oh man, I just painted my caliper. Now I gotta retouch up the bottom of it. Jangus. So anyways, when you do that, it makes sure that the bushings aren't twisted already. If you tighten it with no weight on it, they're snug. You let weight on it, it twists them up. If you hit a bump, it goes into that twist sooner. So essentially what I've done is jack the car up, tighten the bushings down. Whenever I let the car back down, they'll twist the other way. So then at ride height, they're sitting with no torsional spring on them. And basically, what that does is it'll make it ride a little bit better. Justin, with his Miata, when we did the lift kit, I'm trying to get this paint off of me. When we did the lift kit on his Miata, we just bolted everything in how it was, set it on the ground, and it rides terrible. So he's been wanting to jack it up and undo all those suspension bolts, set it on the ground, tighten them all back up. We think it should fix it. Or he's got blown shocks, either way. So, coilover's looking sick up here. Just gotta do a little bit of cleanup, and this engine bay will be fresh. I'm gonna put all the clamps on it, hook the wiring back up, and it should be ready to fire up. We'll hear some blow-off valve noises. And I'm going to try to get these wheels on here so we can see how they look, so I can start adjusting the camber a little bit, playing with the ride height. Should be fun. Sitting in the driveway. Still smoking a little bit, but it might just be fuel. Pretty pumped. Looking good. Rev's good, but something with the trailing coil, I don't know why it's popping. Woo! Pop that thing right off. Looking good. Got to figure out this whole smoking thing. So the turbo was on a different engine that I had, and I had that engine just full of 2-stroke oil while it was sitting. Basically, actually it's the engine that's in the Reaper now. And I'm thinking that that turbo manifold still had a bunch of 2-stroke oil like kind of settled in, so it's gonna have to burn it out. That and that downpipe also is full of oil, a little bit covered and stuff, so hopefully it clears up. We'll figure it out if not. So walk over here, show you the hood. Look at that hood, looking fresh, all sprayed white. Had some like fisheye stuff coming through, but I mean, it's the bottom of the hood. As long as it's cleaner than it was, I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and back this thing up to the house up here, take some pictures of it, try to get this ride height settled in a little bit, and I think tomorrow I'll put the hood on it and try to drive this thing. What's up? As you saw, pretty much failed at trying to do a burnout in the garage. Left some decent black marks. Tried to do it in reverse. Got a ton of wheel hop. Luckily didn't break anything. So, in the next video, I'm going to be doing a better one. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do it, but if I got to push the tractor up in here and put the tractor in the front of it and do a burnout into the tractor, I will. So, the vert, it's on the wheels. It runs. Coil mod's done. It popped, but I'm just going to keep running it. We'll adjust the timing in the ECU. All the clamps are on the intercooler now, so we can make the boost noises. Pretty stoked. So, what's left to do? Well, ride height. Most people would say this is super awesome. I'm going to raise this. I'm going to double it. I want about an inch. At the Dragon, we're going to drive pretty hard, and I really don't want to tear my fenders up, so that's the goal there. Other than that, it is looking flush with the wheels. I dig it. It's a little bit aggressive for me personally, but hopefully it survives the Dragon without tearing the fenders up. That's the goal. If it rubs, then I'm just going to take it easy, and I'll find a different wheel or pull the fenders a little more. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't tear it up, but this thing is looking sick. I like it. I like it a lot. So, but anyways, with that, it's the evening. I got to edit the video, get this thing stuck up. The next few videos, or the next video, I guess, Thursday, is going to be tuning this bad girl and a successful burnout. Whether I have to get the Reaper in here and do a burnout, or the silver car, I will figure it out. But, for now, thanks for watching. Keep it rad. Like and subscribe. Deals Gap's in 9 days, so expect some awesome content from Deals Gap. We'll do some driving content, hanging out the Rotary Rally content, the whole 9 yards. Super cool. Again, thanks for watching. Keep it rad.